Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to another reaction and review. And this is the start of Initial D Stage 2, which is New Threat. And once again, this is the sub edition, but someone told me to go ahead and start part 2 because they wanted to see it. So luckily, it is up on the Funimation YouTube channel. So let's go ahead and jump in and see what this is, because I have been told that the animation improves over time as well as the technicalities with the vehicles. So let's begin. Starting the video in 3, 2, 1, click.
Animation.
I'm curious about the intro, if the intro is different.
Wave Mountain plays a blazing beat. Let's go.
Okay, interesting.
Let's go.
I see, someone told me that they did use a bit of a combination of CGI. And I can see what they've done with it. I see they actually added numbers onto the license plates this time. Ow. Now excuse me. I have noticed definitely some differences in the intro. Well, like just with the animation style, with the CGI, with the vehicles, I have noticed some differences. It is a bit more. It is definitely a bit more enhanced with the visuals, with the vehicles. That was a nice little thing where the camera turned over. I like that. And honestly, I have to say the animation for some of the backgrounds here honestly kind of looked like something that you would have seen in a PlayStation 1 game back in the 90s. Not that that's a bad thing. Warrior of the Road. Oh, nice. I like the color. Yeah, the facial designs, character designs are definitely improved. It is a little smoother, more detailed. And I love the guitar in this already. I'm also curious, what do people think about the second stage? Whoa! About the second, yeah, it's Mitsubishi. What do people think about the second stage audio, or the OST? Of course, the original OST is classic, but what do people think about the second stage OST? It's a Mitsubishi Evolution. Emperor. Nice car.
昔の戦闘機乗りがやってた撃墜マークみたいなもんさ。
Oh, okay.
結構おしゃれじゃねえか。
Nice.
俺たちエンペラーが1ヶ月でこの群馬エリアを総なめにする。ランエボ使いこそ峠のキングだ。
Interesting. And the background designs are also smoother. Look at that. That is gorgeous. That's the 8.5. I thought it was the 8.5
なあ
because
匠
うん。
慣れてくるとしみじみ思うんだけどさ、俺の8号上りだと情けないほど遅いだろ。もっとパワー欲しいんだよな。俺さ、密かに考えてんだ。8号にターボつけてすんげえ速い車に改造しようかなってさ。
ターボ？んなもん後からつけられんのか？車買った時に最初からついてくるもんじゃないのか？
いやそりゃそうだけど、ボルトオンターボっつって後からつけようと思えばつくんだよ。手っ取り早くパワーを出すにはターボが一番いいんだ。もしもさ、俺の8号がターボつけてストレートで先輩たちの S13 と180に負けないぐらい速かったらみんなびっくりするんだろうな。考えただけでもワクワクしちゃうよ。
dude, watch where you're going and put your hands on the wheel.
いつきよけろ。すごい速いのが来てるぞ。逆逆。
ラエボだ。
ランエボ？なんだあの車。不思議な動きをする。
見たかよ、あの頭変になりそうな立ち上がりの方か。たった2リッターの排気量で280馬力だからな。あれこそターボの威力だ。それに 4WD だし。
そうか。あの動き 4WD だからか。2個のタイヤでは使えないようなパワーが4個なら楽に使えるんだ。
Okay, definitely there is an improvement with the animation for the character designs and the detail.
俺のエボ4は走るための機能を徹底的に追求していったらこうなるっていう見本だ。例えて言えば鍛え抜かれたボクサーのボディのようなもんだ。フロントのエアダンも
I also like the detail for the license plates. They actually added that this
大
time.
型のリアウィングも全てに意味がある。ランエボはラリーの世界選手権を戦うために開発され熟成された車だからな。
ハイパワーターボプラス 4WD。この条件にあらずんだ。車にあらずだ。
ランエボこそストリート最速ランナーだ。教一、早く群馬エリアの FR 小僧ども片付けちま
I'm curious, has anyone ever attempted to tune a Subaru
ラ
Outback
エボがいるぞ。嫌な感じだな。
drift it downhill?
かな。
気にすることないよ。俺缶コーヒー買ってくるけど、いつきは？
あ、俺も頼むよ。こっち来る。
Just ignore him.
ああちょっと道を聞きてんだけど。
はーい。あ、こっちのルートが近いっすよ。
そうか、ありがとうよ。ところでちょっと聞くが、
え、
このアキナで一番速い走り屋ってのは？
一番早い？あ、ひょっとして86に挑戦しようとアキナに？
ああ？俺たちが86に挑戦？冗談は顔だけにしてくれよ、レビンの少年。86に勝っても誰も褒めてくれねえよ。それどころかチーム仲間に笑われちまうぜ。86なんか乗ってるやつはアウトオブ眼中。頼まれたってバトルなんかしねえや。
I'm waiting for him to literally squeeze that can to the point of
一
busting
度も
it.
見たことないくせに。
え？
そういうこと言わないでほしいな。アキナの86はまだ一度も負けたことがないんだ。FC にも FD にも R3 人になって。
はあ、 それよっぽど下手なやつが乗ってたんだろ。
下手じゃないよ。県内でもトップクラスの走り屋ばっかりだよ。
Easy.
やば。
トップクラスか。レベル低いね、群馬エリアも。
なんだって。
Easy, easy.
お前もだ政治。そこまで言うことはない。喧嘩しに来てるわけじゃねえぞ。悪かったな。俺の連れは口が悪くてな。
いえ、
誤解のないように一言言っておこうが、そのドライバーをけなすつもりはない。きっと相当の腕だろう。だけど車がな、今の時代には86はもうダメだ。
そういうこと、そのドライバーに伝えとけ。もう少しパワーのある車に乗ってりゃ相手にしてやらねえこともねえってな。だけど俺たちは負けることはない。峠の王者はランエボだ。
悔しいよ。匠、お前悔しくないのかよ。あそこまで言わせて。
俺もかなりムッときたけど、
ならなんか言ってやりゃいいじゃねえかよ。
お前の方がめちゃめちゃエキサイトしてんの見てたら、俺なんか冷静になっちゃって。
あ、なんだそれ。
それにさ、今までだってああいうこと言うやつはいただろう。
Yeah, you can't let everybody try to pick a fight with you and get under your skin.
早いか遅いか走ってみなきゃわからないんだから。
そうかもしんねえけどさ、俺はあそこまで86をバカにされたら黙ってらんねえよ。俺ずっと86に憧れてたからさ。それは確かに86は古い車だよ。ターボだってついてねえし、上りだって遅いよ。だけど好きなやつにとっちゃどんな車より86はいいんだよ。
In the true fans mind, was that a gag reference back then to the fans of Initial D?
サンキュー。匠、お前ならきっとできるよな。下りでライブに勝ってあの生意気なロン毛野郎の花明かしてやってくれよ。
そう言われてもな、向こうがやる気ないって言ってるんだから。
そうだ、ターボだ。
ん
He's gonna bolt the turbo to the 86. Called it.
イニシャル D。
They're gonna bolt it in turbo to the 86.
イニシャル D。
How much more horsepower would that add? Oh, nice four door.
確かにそのランエボ野郎ムカつくな。
もうほっと俺やっとばっきましたよ。
それってもしかしたらサンダーファイヤーのところに乗り込んできたエンペラーとかいうチームのやつらじゃないかな。日光あたりから来たランエボだけのチームって話だ。なんかやたら威張ってて、でもめちゃめちゃ速くて、サンダーファイヤーは散々な目にあったらしいぜ。
俺もその話聞いたよ。
群馬エリアを総なめにするって言ってたらしいから、いずれアキナにも乗り込んでくるかもしれねえな。
本当っすか？じゃあ昨日のは偵察だったのかな。
ランエボじゃきついよな。匠の86でもヤバすぎるよ。
ありがとうございました。
まあそいつらに限らず、これから先匠はどんな場所でどんな相手とバトルすることになるかわからない。それを考えると86の戦闘力アップは絶対必要だな。
Ooh.
でしょ？
So the second stage is about beefing up the 86. Okay.
86にターボつけようって。
いい考えだよ。いつきにしちゃヒットな意見。もちろんもっと速い車に乗り換える方が手っ取り早いかもしんねえけど、匠が86以外の車に乗るってのは
Yeah, it wouldn't be his style.
匠にはあくまでも86にこだわってほしいよな。
そうですよ。
That's the beauty about performance parts. I've got a couple of them on my truck and beefed up.
本
It's
気
not
で考え
much.
てみろよ。
そんなこと俺に言われても、あれ親父の車
My
です
truck's
か？
older than the
そう
86.
か、そうだったな。
なんとかうまいこと言って親父さん説得できないかな。
そうだ、チューニングの費用とかを自分で出すって言うんなら文句言わないんじゃないのか。
ああそうだよ。パワーアップしたらあの親父さんなら絶対喜ぶぜ。
どうだ匠。
パワー出ると燃費とかも悪くなりますよね。
そりゃまあ
Well, yeah, a
じゃあ
little.
ダメだ。うちの親父死ぬほどケチですから。
そういう
いやまだ
夢を壊すようなこと言うなよ。
お前の親父さんは俺たちの憧れの人なんだからさ。
あのクソ親父が憧れの人？
先輩、匠なんか相手にしたって無駄ですよ。俺たちの手でアキナの86のパワーアップ計画を進めましょうよ。
おう、そうしようぜ。
Okay, I'll be honest, if someone decided they were going to upgrade my truck without my permission, without me agreeing to it, I would be totally against it. I mean, you can add performance parts to my truck, but only if I supervise to see what parts you're adding. Not suit.
何を企んでいる？おいおい、ご挨拶だな。
Monster.
一年ぶりの再会だっていう。
Before Monster Energy
こ
drink
の
was a
頃地
thing,
元じゃ遊び
which I
相
don't
手
drink.
退屈してな。生きのいい遊び相手を探しに来たってわけさ。この先こっちのエリアで遊ばせてもらうことになるんでな。とりあえず今日のところは挨拶回りってとこさ。律儀なことだな。好きにすればいいさ。ただしこの赤城ではそっちにとって楽しくない遊びになる。俺たちレッドサンズがいる限りな。相変わらず強気だな、凌介。お前こそ忘れるな。今の俺は1年前の俺とは違うってことをな。あの時は負けたが今度は勝つ。俺の全勝記録を止められたお返しにお前の全勝記録を俺が止める。
It's already been broken.
あいにくだったな。俺の記録は最近止まってしまったのさ。アキナのダウンヒルで86に負けた。なんだ引退するつもりでいたが、お前に勝ち逃げと言われるのも尺だからな。リターンマッチに応じないでもない。敵地に乗り込んでくる心意気は評価してやる。バトル前の3日間、他のチームにも話をつけ、お前たちのために赤城のコースを開けておこう。思う存分走り込め。いつでも来い、今日一。
あの野郎すかしやがって、追っかけてってケツをつつきました。
やめとけ、誠治。お前には無理だ。追いつけない。
俺があんなやさ男、それほどのやつには見えねえがな。肩遅れの FC だし、86に負けるようなやつだろ。
バカ野郎、高橋涼介を甘く見るな。この俺が1年前あの FC に完膚なきまでに叩きのめされてんだ。赤城の白い彗星、あいつを任すのは俺しかいないと思っていたんだが、涼介が負けただと。86に、アキナの86に。
アキナの86はまだ一度も負けたことがないんだ。 FC にも FD にも R3 人にだって。
そうか、あの小僧。
Pieces are coming together in your mind, I see.
一体どんなやつなんだ。
You saw him. That's the funny thing about it. People think that probably whenever they think of the 8-6, they think of some really tough, intimidating looking guy. Really, it's just Takumi.
やめろよ、モギ。
ちょっとほっとした。もし間違って他の女の子の名前言ったらどうしようかと思って。
バカ。
おーい、たくめ帰ろうぜ。俺一人で帰ろっかな。どうせ俺はロンリードライバーだし。そうだそうだ、帰ろう帰ろう。16ターボかけ。
何言ってんだよ。一緒にバイトに行く日だろ、いつき。
私も用事あるもん。
うん。
たくみくんまたね。じゃ
あ。
なあ、たくみ。その後どこまで行ったんだよ。
Really? That's your question?
とろけんなよ。なつきちゃんとの仲だよ。傷の先
Really?
かよ。なあ。
Yeah, I would be like Takumi here. I would be like, none of your dang business. And no. Also, I have to say, I think it was cool that
ヒルクライム
Ryosuke
で決着だ
dressed in all in white
では
to
始め
kind of match the white comet
政治準備はいいな
title that he has. That was cool.
閉じるなよたけし。群馬エリアの走り屋の意地を見せてやれ。今日だけはお前を応援してやるぜ。
俺たちの狙いはもっと先だ政治こんなところでもたつくなスタート5秒前
I like the shimmy that the cars had. It was more realistic to see the rear end shimmy. The camera angles are also really nice. Again, I like how they actually added, he cut the glossy plates this time. Before it was just solid white plates. Now they're actually realistic with Japanese plates.
R32 の前じゃ R32 もおもちゃみてえなもんだ格の違いを見せつけてやるぜ
You think people would learn that whenever they get cocky?
エンペラーだかなんだか知らねえが群馬の砦は俺が守る
You would think that
お前らの目標に
people, whenever they become cocky, you would think that they would learn that at some point they get their butt handed to them. Oh. Ooh, I like this. I like this outro. Wait. Oh, they used a real 8.6. Okay.
変わらぬ君の笑顔があった歩き疲れ立ち止まる日も
Just the look of this is like, it looks definitely like an old music video that you would have seen on TV.
この両手に抱えきれない愛を
At first I thought this was like real footage, but it's just CGI footage. I also can't help but wonder what happened to the 8.6 in this music video. What became of this 8.6 after this music video? Was it owned by someone that helped produce the video? Was it owned by one of the vocalists, by the vocalist here? What happened to that car? Please, I fear that it was junked, you know, sometime later. The 8.6 is really a beautiful car in real life. I mean, it's just a gorgeous little car. That's a great ending outro. It's beautiful.
俺が止めずに誰があいつを止められる
次回イニシャル D セカンドステージランエボ軍団アキナ出撃
見ない奴はアウトオブ眼中
Ooh, interesting. Definitely some interesting things going on here. I can say that this is definitely a very interesting start to the second stage or second season of Initial D. And I can definitely see an improvement with the animation. The cars look similar in animation style to what they did in the first stage, but I can see a difference. There are specific areas or different areas where I can see an animation improvement. Animation improvement for the detail of the engine is there. It looks... someone told me that they used a bit more CGI this time around, and you can see it. Before, whenever you would see the engine detailing before in the first stage, it was really detailed for it to be animated. Here they're using more of a CGI mix to highlight the engine details, and so it looks more 3D. Additionally, I have noticed and improvement with some of the features of the cars. For example, there's a bit more badging on the cars this time around. Another detail is, of course, the license plates. Before in the first stage, they didn't even the license plates were just solid white. Here they actually put actual plates on the car, which is also a really nifty and very nice touch. Additionally, you can notice other little features about the cars now, for like the car's movements. Now, in the first stage, the cars did have some realistic movements, but most of the times the cars were kind of more stiff and more static in how they moved. Pulling out, you wouldn't really see any shifts of the car. It would just be completely flat as it would pull out. Here, though, I have noticed a few more things with the car. For example, from the starting line of the race at the end of the episode, you actually saw the R32 actually shimming in the rear. It didn't just squat down and then accelerate. Instead, it actually showed the shimmy of it. That's a really nice detail and also realistic. And the character models are also more detailed this time around. I think they do have more detail to them. They still look similar, but they do have a bit of a different look to them. And the animation is definitely improved. Now, I'm not certain though how timeline-wise how long the second stage takes place after the first stage, because Ryosuke made the mention that he had recently been beaten by an 8-6. There's no details given specifically as to how long that it's been, or at least I didn't see. It could be anywhere from a few weeks, maybe a month or so after the events of that. But I can say the animation does see improvement. This time around with the second stage, and I've been told that the animation also does continue to improve as the stages progress, and that it does look more realistic. And I'm very curious to see what they do with it with what they do with this animation style throughout the rest of the season. And additionally, story-wise, we have some different setups. In the original stage, you had I don't want to say the base 8-6, because I'm pretty sure the 8-6 had been tuned by Bunta, and to his personal preference and kind of to Takumi's. He tuned it the way that he thought that it would help him. So I don't want to say that it's a base 8-6, because there might be a couple of little performance things added to it possibly. It could be just the base 8-6 though. But here, regardless, pardon me, there was no performance modifications made to the 8-6 throughout stage 1. Here in stage 2 though, they're thinking of adding a turbocharger to the 8-6 and increasing its speed, acceleration, and so it's definitely going to be interesting. And I can understand the concept of adding a turbocharger, because it kind of would not be realistic if they did not add a turbocharger and they used the base model of the 8-6 to try to beat all these other cars. It honestly would not be realistic, and it is more realistic to add a turbocharger to it, because in actuality, in real life, that's exactly how that it flows, how that it goes in real life. Adding a turbocharger or other performance parts to the vehicle can help improve speed, acceleration, and so I know for a fact people have had to do that before with in real life races, and it's also common in video games as well, where you have to you encounter stronger, faster opponents as you progress, and you have to upgrade the performance of your vehicle to be able to actually even keep up. But so I'm wondering with the other stages, what other performance parts that they add to the 8-6. And as I said prior, I've added a few performance parts myself to my truck. Nothing big. I just swapped out the old carb for a new one. I swapped the carb, intake manifold, alternator, flywheel, time and chain, gears. Swap that. Air cleaner, air filter, oil filter, upper and lower ball joints. I just basically swapped those parts out. But it's not really big performance parts, but I'm sure it has increased horsepower by a few pegs. but then I don't do any racing, and I don't plan on it. But it's interesting because it's interesting that here, Itsuki felt kind of personally insulted that Takumi's 8-6 was being insulted, and he tried to defend the car. And that is realistic, I have to say, because whenever you have a car that you love, or you know, like you love somebody else's car, you're actually going to jump to the defense of that car. I have found myself doing that before in real life. Honestly, I despise it. I'm a Chevy owner, but I hate it whenever people put down Ford, people put down Chevy and Dodge. I hate it. I hate it whenever I hear people say that line, Ford found on road dead. My thought is always, yeah, give it time, you'll be found on road dead. Like, I hate it whenever people put down vehicles just because of a different name or a different look. I hate it. I don't understand it. I love them all, and I don't believe in putting them down. And so, you know, I'm definitely more kind of, and I've also encountered a couple of people that hate and that don't like anti-vehicles. I think that they would be better scrapped. You know, just like get rid of them. They're old. And I'm thinking, oh, so is that what you did to your mother's or your grandmother as soon as she got old? Just throw her in a home. She's old. Let's just take her to the cemetery now and go and bury her because she's old. Just go and get rid of her. You know, like, I don't like whenever people put anti-vehicles down, and so I can totally understand Itsuki here. I can honestly relate to him. But it's interesting because here you have these other two cocky guys that drive a Mitsubishi Evolution, an Evo, and one guy's cocky, one's more calm. And I honestly have to have respect for the other guy, the more calmer guy that apologized on behalf of his friend, and he tried to calm him down and said, "We're not here to start anything." I honestly have respect for him. I know he's more of an antagonist, probably, but I do still have to have respect for him for stepping in and saying, you know, hey, we're not trying to start trouble. I honestly have to have respect for him for that. But Itsuki felt, you know, he felt the 8-6 was threatened, of course, and he tried to defend the car. And the other guy he honestly thought the N86, it was outdated. It was pointless to try to race against such a slow car, such a sluggish car. But I'm pretty sure he'll get his just desserts later on. I'm pretty sure about that. But here you have this cocky guy who's now part of a crew, running with a crew, and so they're trying to take over. You know, they're trying to be the dominant drift racers by challenging and taking on everyone. And so Itsuki and the other guys decide, let's beef up the 8-6. And it's funny because Takumi makes a remark about his dad being stingy as heck. Yeah, mine kind of is too. Because, see, I drive around. See, I keep a couple of sandbags in the bed of my truck, not because of snow, but because of weight. Because they're trucks. They have the big block in the front. And I have had a couple of experiences in my C10 where I have had to hit the brake, and where there is no weight in the back, or I've tried to give it acceleration on gravel, and because there's no weight in the back, it has actually spun or slid whenever braking, because there's no weight. So I actually have added sandbags to the bed of my trucks just for extra weight on the rear wheels, where they're both rear-wheel drive. And my dad made the remark to me that I know that it's going to use more gas, right? And I'm like, I would much rather spend a little extra money for more gas than to not be able to stop whenever I need to and risk damaging the truck. But here they want to add a turbocharger to beef up the car, and yeah, it would use more gas, I imagine. Yes, definitely, but it definitely enhances, overall speed. Oh, and so I'm very curious as to how the 8-6 is going to handle, how it's going to sound, and how Takumi's going to feel with it whenever the car is done. But like I said, Ryosuke has basically revealed that he doesn't want to. He has not stepped down. And someone went ahead and spoiled it for me, and I'm glad that they did. Someone told me that Ryosuke kind of becomes a bit of a mentor to Takumi and Ryosuke's brother later on. So I am glad for that. I'm glad that it's more of a mutual understanding between them, and he's not an antagonist. He's more of just I want to say the Zoro type, you know, just kind of lurking in the shadows, but he's kind of, you know, he's a good guy. So I think it's kind of cool. But I'm very curious what's going to happen with these two guys, how far they'll be able to get before they challenge Takumi, and it's very interesting to see. And like I said, I really enjoy the setup for this. It's definitely looking promising. It does look exciting, and I'm very curious as to see what's going to happen. I also have to notice that the music as well for the intro is definitely different, and it sounded more, I don't want to say rock based, but there was definitely a really good really good guitar riff in it, and it made me start thinking what people think about the OST for this stage and for the additional stages. I mean, obviously the OST, the original soundtrack for the first stage, is classic. It's nostalgic. But I'm curious as to what people think about the OST for the second stage and beyond. Like, is the OST good? Can you say that can some of you say that it's as good as the first stage OST, or is it just kind of lacking, or does it actually just suck? I'm also curious about the outro too. Like, it was a really good outro. I really love that they actually included a Relay 6 in the video, and it was interesting because the video itself did, like, just the way that it was shot and the footage, it honestly looked like a video. Totally 90s. Like, it was just a tiny bit fuzzy with how that it looked. It looked like an old music video. And I like the classic look to it. It was new back then, but I think it looks cool now. And again, I'm curious about what happened to the 8.6 in that video. What happened to the 8.6 in that music video? I know nobody probably knows anything about that car, but it would be cool if that car is in somebody's personal collection today. That would be really awesome. But, yeah, this is definitely a very interesting start to the second stage. I am curious as to what's going to happen, and how many of all of the different people, you know, all of the different teams are going to be able, if any of them will be able to take these guys down. And like I said, I really do like the detail for the Mitsubishi Evolution. I really do like the Evolution. I'm kind of more, I think, like, in terms of the Evo of the Mitsubishi Lancer. I really do. I think my favorite body style for it is probably like basically the 2005 body style. That's probably my most favorite of the body styles for the Evo. But this does really look interesting, and I'm very curious as to see what's going to happen and see what evolves in the series so far. But hope you guys enjoy. Thanks again for joining, and let me know what you guys think in the comments as well. Thanks again for joining me. Hopefully I will see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.